Tyler, you were the one munching earlier. What were you eating?
Just a turkey sandwich.
Nice. Classic turkey. That's good. What kind of cheese?
White cheddar.
White cheddar. I'm a pepper jack guy. I always go pepper jack.
Also a pepper jack guy.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's good. That's important information. That's stuff we gotta know. Is what kind of cheese is your kink? White cheddar it is. I like that. That's good. So, all right, let's start the show. Welcome to the Tune Junkies Podcast. My name is Chris, and today we are joined by Carly Cosgrove. Welcome, everybody.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Would you do me a favor and introduce yourselves and let me know what instrument you play?
I'm Lucas. I sing and play guitar.
I'm Tyler. I play drums.
I'm Helen. I play bass.
Hell yeah, that's great. So, the first question we like to ask here at the Tune Junkies Podcast is, do you think there would be any long-term effects from eating an excessive amount of grilled cheeses made in an air fryer?
Yeah.
Probably.
That would not be very good for your health, I think.
It's cheese.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
cheese, exactly.
I feel like the air fryer is a red herring. I feel like if you ate cheese and bread excessively, it would be the same. I feel like the air fryer is not a part of it.
Oh, the air fryer is a non-factor. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a non-factor.
That is definitely true.
So the problem is the bread and the cheese. Well, damn. I was kind of hoping to take down big air fryer. That was my goal with that.
Do you have like some air fryer conspiracy theories?
Yeah. I'm a shill for. I can't think of any kitchen appliance brands. KitchenAid. I'm a shill for KitchenAid. We're trying to take down air fryers.
Hell yeah.
That's not actually the first question we like to ask, though, here at the Tune Junkies Podcast. The first question we actually like to ask is, what was your first experience with live music?
Like the first that we went to?
Yeah, personal. Not necessarily the band played, but like what in your own individual rights. What was your first experience seeing live music?
My first show was Weezer at this place called the Borgata, which is a casino in Atlantic City.
Oh yeah.
And Best Coast opened for them. And I think I was in 6th grade.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, you went to a casino in 6th grade?
Yeah, well, they have like shows there.
Oh.
Have you ever been to Atlantic City? It's built different.
It's built different. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I saw Collective Soul at a casino once, but I was of age. But I guess you just stick to the carpets, right? Is it the Vegas rule? Like there's certain designs on the carpet, like if you stay on there, then you're good?
I don't remember, but something like that.
Fair
So
enough.
we went to Vegas once. No, not Vegas. We went to Atlantic City together once.
We did.
And we went to a casino before we were all 21, and we had to stay on the carpets.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
fun.
It always, I remember going to Vegas as a child. My aunt got married in Vegas, and I remember they were like, "You have to stay on the design of the carpet." I'm like, "What's gonna happen if I don't? What are you gonna arrest me? A child? You're gonna arrest me?" Like, it's fine. I don't have any money. I can't do anything out here. So, what's the big deal? I can't watch these people. Yeah, they still didn't let me do what I wanted to do, but it's fine. You know, you live in. You know, I'll just have to go back to Vegas.
There you go.
So, Tyler, tell me, what was your first experience with live music?
I mean, my first show I ever like paid money to go see alone was The Used at a venue in Philly. Which was I would say a pretty good first show.
Oh yeah. That almost sets the bar too high.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I remember like I went with someone that was like a huge Used fan and I only like kind of knew him.
Yeah.
But like as a first show, it's got to be up there.
Kitty, I'm gonna need you to get down here. Just say hi first. Say hi. This is Kitty.
Hello.
He likes to get involved. All right, Bubba, you gotta get down. Okay, go lay down. All right, Tyler. No, yes. Lucas. We already did Tyler. Yes. Lucas.
Hi.
What was your first experience with live music?
My first big concert was Blink-182, My Chemical Romance, Matt and Kim, 2011, 12-ish, Honda Civic Tour in New Jersey.
Oh my God. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes,
And that was
go
like
on.
a good year too.
Yeah, that was a good year. Neighborhoods that came out, Danger Days came out. They were touring those both records respectively, and yeah, Blink played well. MCR played well. I missed Matt and Kim because we got there late.
Boo.
Boo. It's all
I
right.
couldn't drive.
Okay, I know.
So
Still
let me
boo.
ask you this. This has kind of become a joke question because oftentimes everybody's first experience with live music happened when they were younger and it's like Backstreet Boys or something. But I still like to ask this question. But was your first experience with live music a nail in the coffin for you wanting to pursue a career in music or to make music at least?
No, not
Nope.
for me.
Not for me.
I don't
either.
I don't think Weezer really did it in.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that decision to like want to pursue making music came much later. I think at the time I was still just a music enjoyer.
Hmm.
I feel like I had made up my mind to pursue music prior. To,
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So let's take it all the way back to the beginning. Take me back to the beginning. What is the origin of Carly Cosgrove, the band and the name?
So we all were in different projects, kind of centered around Philadelphia, and had all met. Well, both Tyler and I had crossed paths with Lucas, and he really liked the way we played. So he messaged us and was like, "Want to jam sometime?" And thus we jammed, and it started going pretty well. And then we like didn't have any names or any song titles for a bit for probably good probably almost half a year. And we were practicing one day, and I was like, guys, I recently found online all this stuff about how Dan Schneider, the guy who created a lot of shows we grew up with, is like a total creep. Did you guys know this? And we were like, holy shit, like reading into like all the stuff online.
Mhm.
And we were like, that's crazy. And we also discovered that we all think Miranda Cosgrove is cool as fuck. And then, we went about practice, and then later we were like, we need a fucking band name. And we tossed around a few things. Nothing was really seeming strong.
Mhm.
And then one of us was like, what if we named it after something Nickelodeon themed or iCarly related, since we just, had that whole discussion about Nickelodeon, and eventually we kind of came up with Carly Cosgrove, and it stuck.
Hell yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. What were some of the B names? Like, what were ones that didn't stick? Do you remember any of them?
One was whatever that like chimpanzee says.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Yeah, one was Hi, I'm
yeah.
Paul. I don't know if you've ever seen the Nickelodeon shows, but it's a little like studio tag at the end of the shows. This like three-eyed chimpanzee comes out, and then y'all were throwing some bad band names out, like Plastic Plants or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
That was definitely you. I was like, oh god. I was like, we cannot. No, that was definitely
Plastic plants.
Yeah, it was like Plastic Plants. I
don't
swear
think so.
on my fucking life.
I like that one
100%.
for the sheer fact that if you were to just abbreviate it, it would just be PP. I like that. That's silly enough for me.
I mean, now we're CC, so.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So, I think if I remember this correctly, as I'm looking at your page, it says Philly Nostalgia Core. Ooh, where'd it go? So Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right? Y'all got them Pennsylvania Dutch Amish over there. Do you
true.
guys have much interaction with them, or are they in a different spot?
No.
Yeah, they're in a different spot.
I
but-
used to have a ton of interactions with the like Mennonites and shit.
Yeah.
When?
Well, I used to work at a lot of farmers markets.
Oh, yeah.
And they would always
Mhm.
come through. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like, I don't know, I had family that lived in Lancaster, like by choice. That's where a lot of them are, Lancaster.
Yeah.
And like every time we'd go visit them, like it was always a thing, like, oh, there's the Amish, they're doing their thing.
Mhm.
Got the buggies
Yeah.
on the road, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm always
My
excited
roommate-
to meet people who have had at least a little bit of an encounter. Because here in northern Indiana, we've got a lot of Amish too. Like I went to
Sure.
school with Amish kids, like up until 8th grade, and a lot of them left. There were some
Really?
girls that went to high school, but no boys go to high school. They all leave, and they just go
What?
work. So that's fun.
Crazy.
Dang.
Yeah. It's I mean, you know, it's whatever. It's not like you're learning a bunch of important stuff in high school anyway, other than how to do drugs and get in trouble. At least that's how it was at my school. Yeah. So I guess I was curious as to if you had any Amish interactions, but it's to be expected that they're all kind of centrally located in Lancaster. This would have been a funnier joke had we met up last week, just because it was more relevant. Now it's kind of a settled down thing. But I saw somebody say on TikTok that Pennsylvania has a new cryptid, and that cryptid is Bam Margera. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, that's a whole thing for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Bam Margera is from my hometown. Went to my
No
high
shit.
school. So Bam Margera is more relevant to our band indirectly than
Most
the,
bands.
than the Amish.
Yeah,
Than the Amish.
definitely more
Than the
connected to Bam
Amish.
Margera than the Amish.
Yeah, no. The Jackass crew are all from Westchester, Pennsylvania. When my parents were dating, they met Chris Pontius like on a bike trip.
So
No way.
Yeah, and he was like just some like kid, and he like had like a shaved head, and someone in their biking group was like, "Yo, Chris, how funny would it be if you went into that barber shop and asked for a little off the top?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'll go in and do it."
that's, I mean, yeah, they do anything.
Yeah, you do
Yeah.
fucking anything. But yeah,
That's pretty mild,
my
actually.
sister used to work at like the skate shop that like sponsored Bam Margera. Like, she
That's
knows
cool.
him. She does not like him.
Nice. I mean, that's a fun bit. That's a fun bit. You
It's a
guys should
fun bit.
try and get Bam to come to one of your shows. Be like, hey, Bam, once you get out of jail again, because he did turn himself into the police. I saw. Everybody was saying that he was running loose in the woods, and I was like, what? Loose in the woods, huh? But I guess that's appropriate for Bam Margera.
There was
He's-
a band
He's a
that
wild
used to
guy.
play in Westchester all the time.
Yeah.
And every time they'd come through Westchester, they would like tweet at him to try to get him to come to the show.
Well, I hope that he has a nice recovery and works towards bettering his life.
Yes. We all Bam. You're probably not going to see this, but if you do, we're all rooting for you. Okay, we grew up with you. You showed me who him was, his Infernal Majesty. So I gotta give you mad props for that. So, but yeah, we want you to be okay. But it is also kind of fun to see the drama pan out. I got it. I'm a professional, kind of. So, you're together, you're writing music, and presumably watching Drake and Josh. How many tracks from your first EP, Whoa, Just Take It Easy, Man, came from that show? Because the only one that I was like definitive about was Ain't Calling You a Truther. That was the only one I was for sure about.
I'm pretty sure Not My Job.
Well, they're all from Drake and Josh or iCarly. They're all
Okay.
something. I don't even remember the track order. On
Oh,
that
4 of the
EP.
5. Yeah, My Enchilada was.
That's Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Not My Job was.
Yeah.
Old Jersey was.
Yeah.
And Liar was.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Then
and then Tech Foot Money was
Tech Foot
Carly
Money's
Cosgrove,
Carly
or iCarly.
yeah.
We almost called the show Carly Cosgrove.
Yep.
It's fine. You know, we get it. I that probably gets a little hectic trying to like, because you've got iCarly and then Miranda Cosgrove's from Drake and Josh, just smushing them together, trying to keep them separate. I get that. I've got a hectic brain as well. So
It's hard to be us.
after assembling this EP and releasing it to the world, going back, do you remember what hopes you had for this? Like, was there anything specific you'd hoped the listener would get from this EP, or was this just like a statement to the world like, yo, Carly Cosgrove is here and we don't fuck around?
I think it was neither. I think so. We were playing shows for probably almost a year before we actually recorded the music and put it out.
Hmm.
Originally, like, we made this band as like a fun side project to play at like our friend's basement. We weren't really like, I don't know. There was a time in this band where we joked about like never recording the songs and just the only way you would hear them would have to be live.
I like that.
So I think when we put the EP out, it wasn't necessarily like us trying to make a statement. I think it was literally just us putting out the music that people have been asking to hear for a while at that point.
I think it
Giving
depends
the people what they
because-
want. You guys are. I like that. You're for the people. Carly Cosgrove for the people.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, at this point in time, like, Tyler and I, we were a lot less invested in the band, but, I mean, I don't know if, Lucas, if you had, like, if you interpret this question as far as, like, lyrical, like,
Yeah, sure.
resonation or something you more as, like, the crafter behind the music.
I can tell you that the music we wrote came from a place where I wanted to be the band that I wish that I'd had when I was first starting out. In Philly.
Okay.
Like I wanted to be I wanted to make the music that I wish I got to hear in basements, basically.
All right.
Because I remember coming up in Philly, like I lived a fairly sheltered childhood. I was a rule follower, still am to this day.
Oh, yeah.
A what follower?
A big time rule follower.
Oh, rule. I thought you said
Oh,
like
yeah.
rural, and I was like, is that like a god or something? Like is this some kind of like a religion? But no.
It's-
Okay.
yeah,
They're just rule.
no,
Gotcha.
But yeah, I didn't get to go to shows, so I'd hear like secondhand, like, oh, the grandeur and like the scale of Philadelphia's music scene,
Mm-hmm.
and I really was excited to be a part of it once I got to college. I went to Temple University, and the bands that we got to play with, and or I guess the bands that we got to see and the shows I got to go to were wonderful. But I was having a hard time finding that thing that like scratched that itch that like
Mm-hmm.
'cause I knew it could be out there, and I knew there were bands out there that were particularly special, and like where I would find something that was like, I don't know, just there for me that I could really fall in love with. And after
Mhm.
having enough difficulty finding that in the music I was looking for in Philly, it made me want to just make it myself.
That's great. TikTok's been telling me that the person I am today is the person that you wish you had around when you were a kid, and it's been really fucking with my head lately. Like, oh no, that's just you kind of like grow up becoming who you wish you had around as a child, and that kind of it kind of ties into what you were saying. Like, oh, I wanted to make music that I didn't have access to. So I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's gonna fuck
want-
with me.
Good.
Sorry.
Let it
Um,
inspire you. Let it flow through you.
Let it out, bro. Let it out. So,
Hell yeah.
Not My Job is probably my favorite song off this EP. When I first heard this song, I had that vocal melody stuck in my head for days. And I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't Weird Al that song to my cat, just using that melody and making up words to sing to my cat. So, how did
Oh,
this
yeah.
one feel in the writing session? Was it like a smooth assembly, or did it have like chapters to it? Like you had just had a piece here and then you worked on it later, or did it all come out in one kind of sitting?
So long.
I remember when we wrote this, Tyler had chords on a guitar
Hmm.
that he really liked and played them for me, and
Oh, yeah.
I transcribed them to a different tuning and added like a cool like little rhythmic line, and then like that the music for that song was written in like an afternoon. It was super quick. That was one of those songs where like it just like flowed. it was just natural. And then I had been sitting on lyrics that perfectly like fit over it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just by complete serendipitous nature. Like I had written like on the way home from Philly to Westchester, on like a particularly like tough day, and it all just kind of came together. It was cool.
Hell yeah. I always love hearing the songs that happen quickly, because it's like all the pieces just come together and they're all in the right place at the right time. It's like, like I had mentioned before we started, like Soundgarden, like Black Hole Sun, they're like big hit. Like Chris Cornell wrote that on a napkin in like 5 minutes. He's just like, yeah, here it is. And then it just became this huge hit. Like I love hearing when it almost like you're turning on the faucet and like all the creative juices just come out and they just write themselves. I love that.
Totally.
In I Ain't Calling You a Truther, there's a line that says, I don't want to exist as a body, I just want to exist. Could you elaborate on that?
I can indeed. I wrote that line when I was my first year in college because I felt at the time that I was not in a person's life in a meaningful way. And I guess the line, it was kind of like a play on words. Like, it was like, I didn't, like, and like, it's probably just a more poetic way of saying, like, I don't want to be, like, just, like, another person you have around. Like, if I'm going to be a part of your life, I want it to mean something, and I want it to, I want to be a person that, like, I guess basically just, I don't want to be an NPC. That's effectively what that line is.
There we go. I like that. Yeah, you wanted your existence to have a little bit of significance. Yeah, I feel that, and I'm sure they all do as well. Nobody wants to be an NPC. I like that.
Yeah. But the song is also kind of about like a flavor of the week relationship, and it was like about like, oh, like I don't want to just like I don't want to just be like a part of like your body count or whatever the fuck. Like that's not what happened. That's not what transpired. But like
right,
that was like that's the feeling. It's like hey like I guess at the time like I'd felt particularly used and like and I was like I'm a person with experiences and dreams and aspirations and fears and shit and like. I wish that I'd gotten to know you as such. I wish that you'd gotten to know me as such. And the fact that it never happened is like, one of those things that like at the time I was mourning for. But in retrospect, like it's such a small part of my life. But I love that song and that line in particular because it became like, I think that was the first song that I had written when I was showing, like when I was trying to like kind of I kind of use it as like the sales pitch to help Ty and Helen.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
For the project
that's like,
at all.
It's such a tattooable line. You know what I mean? Like that lyric would look great across somebody's neck. Maybe not the neck, but whatever. Forehead, whatever.
I support
whatever
the
you
neck
want.
tattoo. I've seen a lot of people express online that it really resonates with them in multiple different meanings, which is cool. Like everybody is let it mean something to them in different ways.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad too because I feel like people will take lyrics and assign it an even deeper meaning than I meant it, and look to me as like, oh, like that was like helpful, and I was like, I didn't do any of that work. That was all you.
Yeah, but good art. I feel like the best art can be kind of like interpreted different ways and
Totally.
Yeah. I was just talking about I just did an episode with a couple of my friends. We did this episode where we talk about Christian bands and albums that from our childhood, and we were talking about Switchfoot in particular and how they've like mastered being just vague enough to where their lyricism is applicable to like a Christian faith, or also, if you're non-secular, like you can apply it to whatever you want. And I always like that, it being able to be just vague enough to where I can apply it to me, even though most of the time, like the writer, it's they have a specific instance in mind, but it's just vague enough to where I can bend it to my will. You know what I mean? So,
Totally.
bravo to that. Hell yeah. Now, before the world shut down, you put out a couple tracks, right? Buttersock and Freddie Benson 2020. So I have one question, and I got to know, what's that cat's name on the album?
Castro.
Castro.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
I love that's so stupid.
No, I thought it was. This whole time I thought it was a different name. And
Whoa,
I just realized it was
you've
not.
been lied to?
I don't know why I got in my head that it was Cosmo, but it's not. Apparently, it's not.
Castro.
You're too stuck on Nickelodeon. You're thinking of Fairly Odd Parents.
Right.
Yeah. That's all right.
Castro
Cosmo's
was
pretty cool. He's kind of a dummy, but that's all right.
I like Cosmo. Anyways,
cool.
yeah, Castro was a cool cat.
Cool cat belonged to a friend of ours. At
Yeah, the house venue. The cat just would like hang around.
yeah, the cat would just like be cute
Yeah.
around a bunch of people that I didn't
Hopped
know.
on the merch table. Got a pick.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cat's in there just throwing haymakers. That's funny.
Oh yeah, no, he was in the pit for sure.
So
Crowd kill.
the first time that I read Freddie Benson, I remember as I was like doing research for the band and listening to all your discography, I had read Freddie Benson and I got excited because I thought you were referring to Benson from Regular Show, but then I remembered that he didn't have a last name, and then remembered Freddie from iCarly, which makes more sense, right? I got there. Don't worry. You know, I figured it out. I'm one half of the world's greatest detectives. I don't know that you. Whoa, Kitty. Hey, what are you doing? Never mind. Nothing gets by me. So, tell me, how was the quarantine in the city of brotherly love? Was the shutdown conducive to your individual writing processes, or was it in fact the opposite?
I felt like it was pretty conducive. Well, because right before the shutdown, we had a lot of shows booked. Like, we were doing the, like, at least a show a weekend kind of thing that a lot of basement bands were doing. And, so when we would practice, we would just kind of run the sets. We didn't have, like, as much time to write. And then when lockdown happened, we were all stuck in different places, couldn't see each other, and it did force us to write and be creative, because there was nothing we could do. We couldn't practice, really.
Mm-hmm.
There was no shows happening, so the only thing left to do really was write. So we actually started writing a bunch off of, like, FaceTime and stuff, and I think it was good because it made us pause, and it forced us to write music instead.
Right. You're not as not necessarily overwhelmed, but you're not as focused on like playing shows and booking shows and this and
Right,
that and
yeah.
what else. The only thing you had to do was just write. That tracks.
Yeah.
Where am I?
I think
Okay.
also to add to that, the paranoia of quarantine definitely influenced my mood
Yeah.
while I was writing lyrics.
I feel that. I was stoked about being shut in the house for maybe like the first 2 weeks. I was like, hell yeah, no work. I can just fucking watch Netflix and play Ghost of Tsushima all day. But then after the 2 weeks, I was like, I gotta get out of this fucking house, man. Like I gotta do something. But I liked the quarantine because it really, being ostracized from everything was so common in your life, you know, at that point. Not being allowed to do it for so long really put a spotlight on the things that were really important to me. And
Sure.
I really like this idea. I don't know how they'd implement it, and I'm sure not everybody would like it. But I got to to thinking that almost a mandatory shut-in, like every now and then, would be good just to like refocus everybody's brains instead of being so overwhelmed with the hustle and bustle of life. I feel like it would keep you focused on the things that are really important to you. But
I'm
it's
with
also
it.
very dystopian, and somebody's probably gonna tell me that I'm some kind of crazy person with that. But I don't think it's a bad idea.
That's kind of just like an extreme version of, like, more worker-friendly labor laws. Like, instead of, like, 40-hour work week, like, 32-hour work week, better paid vacation time, stuff like that
Yeah.
that we don't really get in this country. So
Yeah. Good old America. I think a mandatory month-long no work, just so everybody has a month to like live their life. It's like directly how they want. They can spend it with their family. They can go on vacation,
yeah.
do whatever you want. Don't have to worry about all that stuff. I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good for the American people. Biden,
Oh,
listen
yeah.
up, bro.
Dude, yeah, let me talk to Mr. Joe Biden. We've got some
To
ideas.
Joey B.
We got all kinds of ideas. Oh, Joe? I was trying to think of what do they call it? Dark Brandon? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is that even from?
I'm
We
not
don't-
up
we
to
don't have
date with
time to
all my
unpack all
Brandon,
that.
my Joe
Just some
Biden
lame
memes.
shit.
Oh.
That's on me though. So, fast forward to last year, 2022. You put out your first album, right?
Oh hell yeah.
There you
There
go.
it is.
That's it.
Listener, viewer, junkies at home, I just want you to see this bad boy. Look at this fucking thing, bro. Look how beautiful and majestic this thing is. Shout out to you guys. This thing is beautiful. I was really
Thanks,
stoked.
dude.
I'm also glad that we had to reschedule. That's the word. Because I didn't have this in last week.
Oh, hell
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Nice.
it almost worked out for the better that I was able
Hell
to
yeah.
get this so I could show it off for you guys. So See You in Chemistry. I don't know if I said that, but See You in Chemistry, you put that out in 2022. What kind of passion and or support do you have for this band to have survived half a decade, right? It's been an eventful handful of years. What keeps the group, what has kept the group drive alive this long?
Oh shit! It has been half a decade.
That's a crazy question.
I think
Sorry to
like
drop that on you.
no, it's
You're
it's
good.
honestly a good question. I think it's like the relationships we have like outside of the band. We're really good friends. We're like best friends, and I think that is conducive to like having a band long term. I think it's pretty I mean, you kind of always see like a band that like starts pretty chill, but eventually they get to a point where they're a band just to be a band, and the kind of like love they have outside the music fades.
Like a business then, right?
Exactly. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
we've always like been able to make time for like shit outside of music. I mean, Helen and I have lived together for the last 3 years, so we, share other aspects of our life. I would say like that's the main thing that, helped us get through.
Yeah, we have a lot of like mutual friends. Like we were all like part of the same like little friend group and stuff.
Hell yeah. I've always been a preachy about the what I think is the most important dynamic when it comes to being in a band, and that's like one, the familial relation in the band, but also communication. Communication is like the biggest thing, and in order to have the best communication, you have to be
Absolutely.
pretty close, like, and especially to be entirely like, honest and transparent. You need a certain level of like trust and love with a person, especially if you're like, hey, I know you brought this thing. I don't know if it fits here. Like, some people don't take that well when they're like, I worked really hard on this. It's like, no, we appreciate that, but it's not for this right now. Like, we can use that, but you know what I mean? Like, communication's very big, and the relationship that involved in a band, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, totally.
Communication is crucial.
Yes. So I got to give you guys, I got to give credit where credit is due to your present selves. In fact, here for a second, you got to respect consistency. Tell me, how many of the songs on this release are named after a TV show?
All of them.
All of
them.
them.
All of them. Yeah, that's
same
what
two
I
shows,
thought,
too.
but I wanted to make sure, right?
You wanted us to say it.
So, what'd you say?
I said you wanted us to say it.
Yeah, I wanted you to say it. I needed to hear it from the horse's mouth for sure. So, surprisingly, I think I knew more of the iCarly references than I did the Drake and Josh, even though like iCarly wasn't the show that I watched, and I was trying to think of why that could be, but the only thing that I could think of was it'd probably just be Megan. It's Megan's fault. Megan's
What,
the reason why.
What references don't you know? Like, which ones are you not sure of?
Yeah, give us the stumpers.
So the coolest, don't ruin it. I'm almost certain that that's Josh saying that. Is that right?
Yup. Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
I got that one. Game Sphere. I had to look that one up because I thought I remembered it, but I couldn't remember what it was from. That one's iCarly, right?
No.
That's Drake and
No?
Yeah,
Josh.
that's Drake and Josh.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's like a gaming system that Josh gets.
Rue the Day. That was did Spencer say that?
Neville did.
Neville.
Bit of a deeper
Okay.
cut character.
Man, I am failing this test.
That's okay.
But
Not
yeah, those
everyone
are
could
like
be
the only
iCarly
ones
experts
that
like us.
were really that thought I could remember. See You in Chemistry. I feel like that would have to be iCarly, right?
Oh man.
No.
No, Drake
Damn,
and
dude.
Josh.
Josh says it.
I'm about to shut this podcast down. I have just embarrassed myself.
Sorry.
No, you're. It's good. No, I knew, and that's the thing. Like, the jokes in both of them are like relatively similar, so it's almost like a 50. Yeah, I've had a 50-50 shot. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously, I had a
sure.
50-50 shot because there's only two options, but like they could go either way.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
definitely.
Where are we at? Oh, yeah. So this album is fantastic, by the way. Listener, check it out. It's really great. From lifted intuition to longer knowing. Hold it. From lifted intuition to no longer knowing your true intentions. This album really left me wanting more. It felt like a journey. Being your first album, were there any moments in or during or adjacent to the writing process that you think will be lasting memories?
Yeah, there's a lot. I want to share a memory that we had in the studio because I think it was really fun, and we talk about it to this day. It's one of the funniest things to happen to us recording. Okay, so we go in, and this is our debut release to a label we just signed with, so we're definitely on like a tighter budget. And we are discussing with the person that recorded our album, Joe Reinhardt, like the track list and everything, and he agreed to do 10 songs, and we convinced him to do an 11th. And he was like, all right, 11th song, no problem. And then we were like, yeah, by the way, Joe, the 11th song is actually 8 minutes long. Also, we are going to bring in a person to play, or a string quartet. And then also we're going to have a trumpet player. And we did that
And
we did that all on the last day, and I just remember I remember a moment where we were recording guitar. We were also like cramming everything in because we were running out of time. We were recording guitar, and we had a string quartet coming up the stairs, and the studio was really small, and everyone was trying to find a place to stand, and there was like a trumpet player, and Joe was just frantically pacing in between the rooms trying to set it up, where it was like, oh yeah, like. And he was like, I didn't know they'd be bringing in like a full fucking orchestra at the end of the
He was like, sure, last day recording,
They
let's
called
bring
in
a
the
fucking
Philharmonic.
orchestra.
Like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was definitely a moment that I think we all look back on, and it was one of like the more lighthearted moments of that session.
Yeah, I think recording overall with Joe was like extremely memorable. I mean, he was very fun and easy to work with, and we just had a lot of laughs, I will say.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah. That's fun. I'm always curious as to like what kind of shenanigans happen in the studio that you guys that are still joked about to this day. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, lots.
So, what's your availability on me referring to Cloud Block as a Billy Joel ballad transmutated into Midwest emo? Are you open to that? Because listen, I have very little exposure to songs with the word extreme in them, okay? Like, I'm not hardcore enough for the algorithm. The only extreme I get is more than words.
That was a crazy string of words.
Well, welcome to the Tune Junkies Podcast, where I am riddled with mental illness.
Sure. Us too.
I was wondering where you were going to go with that. I didn't.
You're always going to guess. Then nobody ever knows what I'm about to say.
Gotta keep them on their toes.
Yeah, I got to do that. Let me see. So, There's a lot of big feelings expressed in this record, but I think cutting off your head and cauterizing it on the stove is probably my favorite one. So the question I have regarding that is, how do you write music for a line like that?
I remember the first time. I remember. So, all right, this is not answer the question, but "Headaches"
Good.
is a song that Lucas. So a lot of this album we wrote together. That was a song that Lucas almost entirely wrote front to back just by himself. And I remember we got a voice memo of the song, and I'm just like, oh, cool. Lucas wrote like a little riff. Let me listen to it. And it's just like I thought of cutting off my head, cauterizing the stump on my stove, and I was like, this man needs someone to talk to.
No, I was like, oh, is he okay? I literally remember
Yeah.
being like, oh shit, like we should do a check-in.
All right, you can answer it now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh. What was the question?
How do you write music to a line that, in regards to cutting off your own head and cauterizing the wound on the stove?
Oh. You sing
Because
as
to me,
high, you sing as high as you
that
can.
a lyric like that sounds like it'd be for like Cannibal Corpse or something like that.
What you do is you get really sad,
Okay.
and then you walk into your apartment after a long day, and you look at your stove, and you go, well.
There's always this.
Oh god.
I can
No,
always just clock out.
Yeah, that was the. Fun fact. I don't know if I've ever shared this.
Ooh, Tune Junkies exclusive. Get ready, everybody.
Initially, it wasn't my head, but my hands.
Oh, because guitar.
Piano.
Yeah.
Oh, or the piano.
Yes.
Ah.
And I thought that was too clunky.
Yeah, it doesn't flow as well, like
Yeah.
lyrically, the sound.
When
of
you gotta
hands.
Also,
Cauterize
how do you cut off both of your hands?
Yo, you can't.
Oh.
It's true.
You put a knife down, you wedge it between two bricks,
And then you just
and
go-
then yeah, you karate chop in.
Or you like, or you like put a sword in your mouth like Zorro from One Piece. And just...
There you go. Or you.
I like
you have
that
a good
idea.
friend.
Yeah.
You ask a
Yeah,
good
you
friend to
just
help
could
you
also
out.
you could
Close friend.
throw a knife in the air and then
Ooh.
hold out your two hands.
This is
What are you,
getting a
Tobey
lot.
Maguire from Spider-Man? You're just gonna like perfectly catch it right into your wrist?
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh,
I like the idea of making a Rube Goldberg machine to cut off your own hand, but like super elaborate and long, and then
like
it's
a
just
giant mouse
Dap.
trap. And you just like.
It's like a whole YouTube video,
That's-
3 minutes long. At the end, someone just gets like assassinated.
That's definitely got to be some kind of reflection on society.
How to basic decapitation.
Yeah, this is a video you can find on a live leak. Yeah, it's just a really fancy Rube Goldberg,
Oh,
and then it's
live
just dude
leak
getting his
Rube Goldberg.
ah.
Gonna type it into my browser. Rube Goldberg live leak. Just see what happens. No.
Careful going on live leak. You can see stuff you can't unsee. That is,
I'm sure.
this isn't a plug, but I'm just it's more of a warning.
Listen,
Junkies
I
at
love
home.
the rules. I'm a rule follower. I will never go on live leak. I also can't handle what I've heard is on there.
Oh, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a dark place. Fascinating, but dark. Speaking of dark, I'm just kidding. You guys are not dark. So I really loved how the album as a whole played out, so to speak. Right? To me, it felt like the first two tracks, "Sit and Bounce," and then how do you say the second? Is it
Monk.
just Monk, or how do
No,
I
it's just
say
Monk.
that?
Just monk.
Monk. Okay. Okay. Cool. So "Sit and Bounce" and "Monk," and then the last two tracks, "Chowder" and "See You in Chemistry," they were like perfect bookends, right? The first two build up, and the last two build out. It was magnificent. I feel like the album plays out like an extended release Lexapro, right? And that's my official review. Signed, Tune Junkies Podcast.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll put that in
Yeah.
our Instagram bio, actually.
See you in
Oh my
chemistry.
God, yes, I would love
Auditory
that.
extended release. Lexapro.
No, but that means a lot. I mean, that was definitely when we were like making the actual album. I remember a big conversation we had was about like the sequencing and the flow, because At the end of the day, this was a debut release, and we wanted to put our best foot forward, and we really talked about a lot of our favorite albums and what they did that we liked. And something we always came back to is like transitions between songs going into songs. Some of my favorite albums have like transitions that I like love the album because how a song went into another, and I know when we were writing it, it's just something we definitely paid attention to, because it is important,
Yeah, and we're glad that it shows off because a lot of people have mentioned, oh, I like this song into this song, and
Yeah,
it's good to see that like something that we took the time to like make a specific way really like shows to the listener.
Yeah, that's one of the qualms I have with like the accessibility of music nowadays, like in regards to like streaming platforms, and specifically like the what I'm calling the reign of singles right now. Like just how fast the internet moves and how much stuff is always coming at us. Singles seem to be like the easiest way to just like throw your hat into the ring,
Oh, totally.
But
Yeah.
there's so much to be said about the presence of mind and the dedication and like just the vision in general of what it takes to build and essentially piece together an album. And like you said, there are a lot of things. It's not just song. A lot of the times it's song bleeding into song, the story continuation or references within song to song. Like
Sure.
it's an art piece. It's an album for a reason. It's a whole. It's like a cake, right? You can eat pieces of it, but the whole thing is right there. And you should. Well, I'm not about to tell people to eat a whole cake. I'm not going to do that. But you could if you wanted to, And in this regard, you should absolutely eat the whole cake. This is to be devoured. So,
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
think we all listen to music a little differently too, but I think for me, like, I tend to get bored of singles. It really depends the artist, but sometimes when I hear a single that I really like, I almost like crave there to be more. So like I think for me, it's not that I won't check out singles, but if an artist I know puts out a full album, like I think it could be appreciated a little more because it's like a full thought. It's something that was like thought out all the way. Whereas like a single could be anywhere from a song that anywhere from a full thought to a song that was just thrown away that we might as well put it on DSPs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's almost like you could compare albums to books, right? Even though one chapter might be really good, you don't understand the story through one chapter.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you should read the whole book. And like, one of my things with like singles is that even though it may like satisfy the craving of whatever it is it's giving me, I have this bad habit of loving the single and it filling up my quota of whatever that may be, and then I never look into the rest of the album. Like there are bands that I grew up with where I know like the singles and I just never listened to the albums because I was
Totally.
satisfied with the
Yeah.
nuggets that I had. I never even went back
Yeah.
and looked into them.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like hard to fucking listen to all the music you want to in my opinion. There's so much out
Yeah.
there that like you might like. It's just like you only have so much time to listen to it all.
So now that it's 2023, the album's been out, you've been playing around, you've been playing out, presumably to great reception with your numbers where they're at. What's to be expected from the future of Carly Cosgrove?
I mean, right now we are doing a lot of shows, having some fun this summer, doing some festivals. That's the main thing we're doing.
Are you talking like an artistic standpoint or like literally what are we doing next?
I mean, kind of both. Like, what can fans such as myself expect from the future of Carly Cosgrove? I mean, you said you're doing festivals. We got new music on the way. Is there? I don't know. Yeah, I guess that stuff.
We don't have
You have to wait
anything,
and see.
Yeah, super specific that
I like
we
that.
can say.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Now
So
let them know next
I've got
week.
some rapid fire questions for you. They're not necessarily rapid, but they're just short little questions. So,
Sure.
question number 1: what's an album or band that you guys think is underrated?
Mm.
I think in the U.S., Coldplay gets a lot of flack.
Under what?
What are
Yeah,
what?
I mean they
No, like
do,
in-
but I don't
like
know
in
how you're
our-
saying underrated.
I
They're
feel
like crazy popular.
They're
No,
rated as
no,
hell.
No, they are crazy popular. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of critics, at least for their later work, but a lot of people look on Coldplay and scoff. Like, I don't know.
That is true. They do. I
They're
did
the
listen to
best
some
players.
Coldplay today, though. It's crazy you brought that up. I was listening to
So funny.
Fix You and Paradise.
Like they're-
Yellow.
They have this song called "God Put a Smile Upon Your Face," and that is the least Coldplay sounding Coldplay song I've ever heard. But it's
Is that... okay, all right. I didn't know if you were going to be like, it's the least Coldplay song they did and it's the worst one, or if you were going the other way with it. But okay. I'll look into it. What album is that off of?
Rush of Blood.
Do you know? What
Rush
one?
of Blood, a Rush of Blood of the Head.
I will pretend to know which one that is, but it's
So
recorded.
it's the
I'll
one
check
with the
back in the edit.
scientists on it
I'll look
and-
into it.
You know, Coldplay is like one of like the top 10 most streamed artists
I
on
do.
Spotify. Okay,
I do.
just checking.
I just feel like not in the States. I feel like in the States people don't feel like I'm alive.
Nope.
He goes, next question.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
All right, artists
want
that
to, though.
we
That's
think
the
you should
thing.
check
I
out.
wanna listen to you.
Coldplay. Underground artists you need to hear. 1, Coldplay.
They're pretty underground.
hey.
I don't know if you've heard of them. There's this band called Coldplay.
Yeah, have you guys heard of this band called Coldplay?
No, never.
That's fun. Are you embarrassed now? Are you blushing?
I'm thoroughly humiliated.
Good. I can't wait until this is all over the internet.
Ugh.
Anyways,
This section right here is going to be its own reel. I can almost assure you. It'll be one. It's fun though.
perfect.
All right,
What you
I
can
would
do is
say-
just lean into it and say I was it was a bit. You know, this is a comedy
The
podcast.
last
Like I
thing
did it
that
as a
any-
joke.
The last
got you,
thing
dog.
that you should do when people try to show you the error of your ways is double down. So I will not be doubling down.
I'd like to double it and pass it on. What else? What other
The Beatles.
what other bands are underrated?
All right, I'm gonna say our good friends in the band Elephant Jake.
Yes.
They
Elephant
make
Jake.
really great music. They're very good people, and they deserve more hype.
Elephant Jake. That name sounds familiar. I
Give
feel like
Elephant Jake all the love in the world.
Yeah,
They're
give
phenomenal.
Elephant Jake a try.
Definitely.
Should I-
2023.
Give them a try?
Should I get them on the show? Are you
Yeah. Fuck
yeah,
advocating
they're-
for them? Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
Do it.
All
They're
right.
so funny.
Slide
Are they
in the
also from
DMs.
Philly?
Yep.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind. Okay. Hell yeah.
Close enough.
Elephant Jake. Awesome. Okay. Ooh, I like the cover of that one. The Split from 2017. That one's cool. All right, and we're not going to look at artwork while I'm talking to you guys. So Elephant Jake, Coldplay, and one more.
I feel like a lot of like artists I like that aren't very big aren't necessarily like I don't want to call them underrated because it's not like they just haven't really been discovered in the mainstream yet. And I feel like
That's good.
calling someone underrated means like they had a chance to blow up and for whatever reason they're being underrated. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like if there's like a small band, I wouldn't want to be like, oh, they're underrated because I just don't think like I don't know. I have like a lot of artists I listen to that aren't like super poppin', but like I feel like
Maybe I should change the verbiage. What if I said underappreciated?
Then if you said
Is that-
underappreciated, I would rescind my Coldplay comment.
You know what? No, I think we as Americans need to appreciate Coldplay more.
You're right. They do deserve more love.
I really think that we need to like work on this as a community.
Is this gonna be the new Pittsburgh bit?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift is the most
Chris Martin for
underrated.
president, 2020, whatever the next one is.
Trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, that's fair.
Sorry.
So the next question is, if your band's current genre was outlawed, you could no longer play the genre in which you reside in. What would be the plan B for Carly Cosgrove?
Polka.
Hell
always-
yeah,
I-
dude!
you always
Shout out
say
to
that 'cause
Weird
I talked about
Al.
Polka on the last podcast, bro. Our genre is not my favorite genre of music.
That's fair. That's
So
fair.
I wouldn't really be bothered. I'd probably want to play like that genre where like a bunch of people that used to play hardcore start a side project and it's like more like chill and less screamy, like Fleshwater. Yeah,
Hey,
that's the
Fleshwater
genre.
rips.
Yep,
Hell yeah,
80s
I like
new
that.
wave.
that's a good one.
I would do like the early thousands new wavy thing, like Interpol or Block Party.
Oh yeah, that's
Ooh,
lit,
Ooh,
bro.
nice. That's good. Hell yeah, I like that. Another one. If you had to describe your music to someone who's never listened to music before, what analogy would you use?
It kind of sounds like wow, no.
Oh.
That would sell me. I'd be in a minute. Be like, yeah.
So wait,
that
we're
rips.
describing our music to someone that has never heard music before?
Never listened to music before.
It's like
All right, okay.
vibrations and
How about? Can I change the question to somebody who's only listened to things that are on Billboard's top 100 in their whole life?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've only known the Billboard Top 40 stuff their entire
It's
life. How
like
would you describe your music
182.
to them?
Yeah, okay. Take Blink 182, make it sadder, make it not about being a teenager, and then make the parts more technical. I think that's it. I think that's
Yeah.
what I'd say.
there you go.
All right,
Take Coldplay.
there you go.
Take Coldplay.
Take Coldplay.
Appreciate them more.
Appreciate
That's what I
that.
thought.
Rate
That's
them
what I thought
higher.
you were gonna say. Is like,
Add
okay, you're gonna
more-
start with
add more.
Coldplay.
The piano, get rid of it. Throw it in the
Scrap it.
dumpster. Just smash it.
Set it on fire.
And then imagine like instead of crooning, you're just kind of screaming a little bit. Almost.
Almost.
That's-
Close.
No, I would say, Foo Fighters. Less people and less game.
Foo Fighters, change the amp tone,
Keep the drum tone.
keep the drum tone. Not as cool as Dave Grohl.
Not as cool as Dave.
All right.
Dave
Nothing's
Grohl
as cool as
braces
Dave
with
Grohl.
drums.
Anyways,
This is good. I like this. So, last one. In the current chapter of Carly Cosgrove's career, if you could assemble a dream tour lineup, alive or dead, or not necessarily alive or dead, but still a band or not still a band, what 3 bands would you pick to tour with?
I feel like I normally have like a pretty consistent answer when we get this question.
Yeah.
I would say Alex G, Tiger's Jaw, Oso Oso.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good tour.
Yeah, and then we open, of course.
Oh, you're not even opening your own. You're not even headlining your own tour.
I can't.
no.
I don't want to go after Alex G. The crowd's gonna be all
That's
weird
fair.
and
That's
stuff.
fair.
But also,
They're already gonna be on their weird shit.
do you know how fun it is to be the first band on a bill?
You being in the
Oh,
first
it's the
band
best.
rocks.
It's the best. It's the best.
Oh yeah, because then you don't have to. You get the work out of the way, and then you can enjoy the rest of the bands. Yeah,
Yup.
I've heard that.
So
That's what I would
true,
want to
so
do
true.
too.
I'm changing my answer around a little bit. I think I'm gonna do
Coldplay.
no, Coldplay.
Carly Cosgrove
Coldplay.
headline.
Coldplay World Tour.
Yeah.
I think-
Coldplay opens.
I think a Carly Cosgrove Coldplay
Foo Fighters.
it stadium tour is my goal.
and
Yeah.
Coldplay opens for us.
Yeah, Coldplay opens.
Coldplay plays 15 minutes.
They get a flat $500 rate per night.
Yeah, they get a $500 guarantee, and they have to sell 30 tickets.
Yeah, it's a pay to play for sure.
They gotta bring the stubs so we can count them.
Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
think my real answer is Pop Microwave Weatherbox Us.
Nice.
That's a good tour.
I
Hell
would
yeah.
also like to
That's a
tour
really
with
good tour.
Microwave. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
For me, it's like Microwave and Pool Kids. I don't really know if it would make sense as a tour
I can see
because
that.
they're like, yeah, I just really like those bands.
It's a dream tour. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Hell
Better
yeah.
when it doesn't.
So I know you said you were wanting to stick around to an hour. The rest that I have is just the final question, plugs, and then the outro. But if you are willing to give me like 10 more minutes, I was going to ask you if you guys would like to play a game.
Sure.
I'll play a game.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like a
cool.
saw
So
trap, right?
sorry, what?
It's not like a saw trap, right?
No. I do have future plans to implement a soundboard where that is how I will be asking the questions through a saw sound drop, but not at this current moment in time. So all the games that we have on this show were all developed by us. They're all for this show. It's gonna be on a little decision roulette wheel, so you don't really get to pick. But I will let you know if once I explain the game, if it doesn't sound like something you think you'll have fun with, let me know and we can just pick something else, right?
Okay.
So this one is called Pop Punk or Random Junk, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna say a string of words, and you're gonna tell me, is this a song title? Or is this random shit that I just made up, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
This is
yes.
Okay, so let me pull up my all my notes. Do. Okay. Are we ready?
good. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hit it.
All right, let's go with My First Restraining Order, 1999. Is that a song title or is that random?
I hope it's random.
I also hope it's random.
I'm gonna be contrarian and say song title.
Are those your final answers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the answer is song title.
No way.
By
By
who?
who?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta tell us who.
It's from a band called Drowning Man.
Okay.
Okay.
Word.
All right, let's go with what Godzilla said to God when his name wasn't found in the Book of Life. Is that random words or is that a song title?
That kind of
Dude.
sounds like a song title to me.
I'm also locking in song title.
I'm going random words.
Final answers?
Yeah.
Yes.
The answer is song title.
Yeah.
Is it by Newfound Glory? I feel like it's by Newfound Glory.
It's a American Music Club.
Oh.
Uh,
I've heard that name before. I don't know how I
I
knew
feel like I
Let's-
maybe have two.
Say what?
I've heard that name before, but I don't know from where.
Yeah, I should write more notes and like have a description so that I could kind of like plug the band in their silly title, but I don't. I just haven't. So it just is what it is. All right. So the next one, let's go with if this card includes admission rights, it is non-transferable. Is that random words or is that a song title?
I hope it's a song title.
I'm going for the hat trick. I'm saying song title.
I'm
Song
gonna
title?
say random.
Final answers?
Yeah.
It is random words. I
Aw.
Yeah.
just read the back of this Walt Disney card. That's what
That
this
would be
is.
Nice.
fire, though.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
yeah.
Have you guys been keeping score by chance?
I am 2-1.
I've gotten none.
I think I've gotten two.
Two. All right. Let's do one more. I always like ending with this one because it's insane. So. A detailed and poetic physical threat to the person who intentionally vandalized my 1994 Dodge Intrepid behind Kate's apartment. Is that a song title?
That's a
Or
song
is tho-
title.
are those
That's a
random
song
words?
title.
Song title.
Please.
Did you guys all say song title?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh,
No.
all right. Wait. What's the band? I'm looking it up right now.
It's from a band called Pet Symmetry.
Oh,
wait.
we know them.
I've
Yeah.
seen that's the start of the song name. I've literally never.
Oh,
I've never
It's
like
too
looked
long.
at the
It's
the,
too
the
long. It
total
scrolls
song.
too far,
It doesn't
yeah.
show up on Spotify.
Yep.
It literally
Damn.
doesn't show the whole thing.
Damn, you
Yep.
know what?
Yeah.
I've seen this. Dude, this is really how it works, bro.
Yeah.
This is how it works. I've seen this band so many times, never really checked them out. Now I'm gonna check them out, dude.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's so funny. I literally have seen that song, like the
Yeah.
start. I was like, the first few
Dude,
words sound familiar.
Dude, do you know who they're touring with?
They're touring with
Retirement Party.
Bro!
I like when you said that, I was like, the first few words sound really familiar, but the rest of it didn't, and I was like,
Yeah.
But it's because I've literally never seen the second half of the name.
Yo, we should go to that. They're playing at UP,
Yeah, I want to
21st.
go to that.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're the EP that I think that one's on an EP, and it's just like 2 songs, and it's just like songs about cars, and both songs are like they have crazy long names. They're really funny.
That's
Hell
sick.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's a pop punk or random junk. That was the game.
Hell yeah.
You guys did it.
We did.
Congrats, you win.
Pop punk.
I didn't get
So-
any right, but I'll take it.
Fuck you.
Word.
Well,
last one,
watch.
right?
This
The
is
last one,
this is
right?
how Carly Cosgrove breaks up because one person did better than the other.
And that was when the bond.
sorry, junkies. I ruined another band. So this is the part where I ask, what have you guys been listening to lately? Pull out your streaming platforms, or maybe you're smart and you just know it off the top of your head, and you're better than me. I don't know. I don't know how you live your life.
I've been listening to this hip hop artist, Ice Cold Bishop from LA.
Ice Cold Bishop. I like that name.
Definitely a different genre, kind of like experimental a little bit, but pretty cool sound. So that's what I've been rocking recently.
I'm always super hesitant when it comes to the genre of experimental, because like I don't mean any disrespect, but when I hear that you've classified your music as experimental, it just makes me think you don't know what you're doing.
This
Right?
person, like, they definitely know what they're doing. It's like,
Okay.
I mean, I don't think they would classify it as experimental. I'm calling it experimental because I wouldn't know where to really put it.
Okay.
If that makes
It's
sense.
an unclassifiable. Ooh, it's a new species. I like that.
Yeah, but it definitely falls under like hip hop for sure.
All right, hell yeah.
I've been listening to this hardcore band called Discrepancy, Tegan and
Nice.
Sarah, and the new Balance and Composure.
Ooh, love me some balance and composure. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've been listening to the song "The Con" by Tegan and Sarah.
Yeah, I showed him this song. It's very
The song "Vomit" by Microwave,
good. You showed me that song. It's very good.
and some early songs off of the record "Aha Shake Heartbreak" by Kings of Leon.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's
Love
been
it.
on a Kings of Leon kick.
You know, the singles on the
I,
record are so good. They don't sound like post like Sex on Fire, You Somebody, Kings of Leon. It's a different band.
I had heard recently that their song "Sex on Fire" that wasn't originally what it was gonna be.
I
Like they
heard
had
this
different
too.
lyrics for it, and then the studio was like, "Yo, you should make it sexy."
I heard it was the
Duh.
chorus. The story I heard was they were recording in the studio, and the lyrics were, "This sets us on fire." And
Yeah.
then someone came in and was like, "Yo, I love that Sex on Fire song that you're writing." And they were like, "Oh, we got to call it that now."
Okay, that's
There you
it.
go.
I like that. Misheard lyrics that change the
Change history.
the direction, trajectory of a band. I like that.
I feel like the last thing I want to feel while being intimate
Is on fire.
is any burning sensation.
Yes, facts. Yeah, burning sensations are no good when you're inside another person. That's no bueno.
Make sure everybody quotes Lucas Naylor from Carly Cosgrove on
Oh
that.
no.
On what he wants to feel during intimacy.
That's the next Carly Cosgrove merch.
Yep. Yeah, put that on there.
Hell yeah.
On there.
No, Caleb Followill. This sex is not on fire.
This sex is rather dormant, if we're being honest with each other.
That's a bummer.
That's a shame.
Hey, listen, don't knock celibacy. Come on now.
No one's knocking celibacy.
I think I'm knocking celibacy.
I
He
think
said, no,
I-
I'm talking it. That's funny.
I don't think we meant to go anywhere near this.
No.
Bro, this is welcome to the show. It's off the rails, tangents. This show is unofficially sponsored by ADHD. I've been saying that since 2019.
Alrighty.
So, Chris, what have you been listening to? Oh, thank you so much for asking. I have been listening to a little bit of Jackson Brown, some Billy Joel. Speaking of Coldplay, today I learned that Casey Musgraves did a cover of Fix You. And I'll be honest, as much as I stand for Casey Musgraves, I didn't care for it. But I think that's just because I'm stuck on the like normal, not normal, but like the original delivery, and she changes it up
Coldplay
just
did it
because
better.
she made it her own. But I was trying to sing the Coldplay version, and it wasn't Casey's version. But yeah, I was listening to some of that
Not everyone
today.
can be Coldplay.
Well,
The
not
cast-
everyone can be Casey Musgraves.
The cast of Glee did a version. Of
Yeah.
Fix You.
Flames.
Awful.
I'd like to go on
Canyons.
record and say Casey Musgraves is beautiful. That's all.
Yes, yeah,
can continue.
How could
She's
you say
wonderful.
something so controversial yet so brave?
It's definitely not controversial.
That's hilarious. And then Casey Musgraves as well. Let me get one more. Who have I been listening to lately? Some Hawthorne Heights. I've been listening to some Hawthorne Heights. And then I'll say it again because it shocked the last person I told. I've been listening to some Dashboard Confessional. Never
Oh,
listened to them
oh, yeah.
before in my life. And then they were on a playlist, and I fell in love with I was just in the right receiving wave, and I just caught it, and I'm into Dashboard Confessional now. So that's
Hell
what it
yeah.
is.
Vindicated.
I am
Yeah.
selfish.
I'm wrong.
I am right.
I swear I'm right.
I know I'm right. I swear.
So
I knew it
the
all
last thing
along.
I'll ask you to do is tell the listener, the junkies at home tuning in, where can they find and follow everything that is Carly Cosgrove?
You can find us on any social media at Carly Cosgrove PA. We're on all major streaming platforms, and yeah.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Listener, junkies, you already know the drill. You can find us wherever podcasts are available. We're the only ones. On Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Not Twitter. But if you would like to reach me personally, you can leave me alone. But if you must be involved with my life, you can find me on Instagram at Chris and Kitty, or on TikTok at DatBoyPit6. And remember, if you've got a band, or if your friend's in a band and you think they should have a little spotlight shown on them, do you think they deserve some recognition? They're underappreciated. Email us at tunejunkies@gmail.com. Don't just send me a name. That's a dumb thing to do. Please send me a link. Okay? Thank you. Much appreciated. Well, that's it, you guys. I appreciate your time.
great.
We did it.
I
thank
want to
you.
thank you for coming out and talking to me and laughing with me and not, rolling your eyes at every single thing I said. I appreciate that. It's a big sacrifice, and it's noted. I like it. So yeah.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
having us.
Yeah. Listener, junkies at home, this has been a Tune Junkies podcast. My name is Chris. They have been Carly Cosgrove, and we'll see you on the next episode. Click.
There's a backside on the Lego head, you spin around and show when you check it